Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be doing the Capricorn horoscope for 2025. So I just want to say this is going to be a lot more accurate for a Capricorn rising, but you can also watch for your sun and moon, that's completely fine. I just want to say when I'm talking about the houses, you might be like, I don't have a house that does this, and it's because it might not be the same rising sign. So I actually am a Capricorn rising, so I will not lead you wrong on this. I'm very excited for this year. It's actually going to be a really lovely year for us as well, especially because Pluto is now out of Capricorn in Aquarius, so as a cardinal sign, we get a break, but also because it's literally leaving our sign. So this is really great energy. So what I'll talk about is the key themes for the year and then also break it down month by month. I won't spend too long on these videos. They're roughly about 25 minutes to 30 minutes because I don't want to spend too much time going over it because I do a lot of weekly and monthly horoscopes as well. So just want to put that disclaimer in case you're like, this is kind of short. And it's like, I'm just trying to give you the snippets and highlights basically. So the key themes for Capricorn, you're going to be focusing on transformations in your routine, your day-to-day routine, also your physical health routine, and also communicating your needs and perhaps becoming a little bit more of a storyteller in your friendship groups and a little bit more kind of focused on media as well. If you're an academic or you're academically inclined, you could focus a lot more on writing. You also have a good chance for marriage and commitment in dating. I'm very, very lucky with this. This is the most exciting thing because when Venus is in Cancer in the middle of the year, this will be in your 7th house of committed relationships. And in August, we also have a Venus-Jupiter conjunction in that 7th house, which is beautiful soulmate energy. So I love this for love. You'll also have a focus on home and family life and investing in money and also your intimate relationships as well. So there's a real focus on relationships and sort of routine for this year. So January 2025, Mars will be retrograding in Leo from the 6th of December 2024, which is already happening, to the 6th of January 2025, and then it will move on to something else. So Mars is the planet of war and aggression and sex drive and is a little bit angsty. Leo is very masculine, it's the sun, it's powerful and it's optimistic. So together this creates a real David Goggins, I will not quit mentality, which can be used for good, but it also yields a lot of frustration and anger too. This will be in your house number 8, which is the house of shared finances, investment and trust. So you could have frustrations around these themes and specifically need to channel the passion of Leo and Mars into something positive. So if you desire a change in your investments, for example, use that passion for direction. Then Venus will be in Pisces in your 3rd house. On the 2nd of January, Venus will leave Aquarius and enter Pisces, which is a much more dreamy, delusional and compassionate love sign. So you could find more harmony with communication in love here, or just feeling a lot more productive when it comes to that area. Then Mars will be retrograding in Cancer in your 7th house of committed relationships from the 6th of January to the 23rd of February. Mars in Cancer is not its best place to be because Mars is very aggressive and Cancer is highly sensitive. So together it's like you're crashing out, you are screaming and crying at the same time. It's not always a nice placement. So this will highlight some frustrations with committed relationships or maybe lack thereof and may cause you to act out. So you need to exercise some impulse control here. Then we have some really important things happening. We have the nodes changing from Aries and Libra to Pisces and Virgo. So they'll now move to Pisces and Virgo for you, which means you will restore harmony and balance to studies and travel in the 9th house, but also your communication and productivity in the 3rd house. So your purpose may become much clearer for the next 2 years or so. So when the North Node has been in Aries, that's kind of set you up for the life that's waiting for you now. When it's in Pisces, you experience greater purpose with your social media, communicating or writing. Just as an example, I'm an academic, and for me, this is really focusing on doing a full-on kind of book and a journal and that kind of thing in an academic way. So that's what I'm focusing on. I'm also doing social media with YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that as well. So that's my example of how I can use that 3rd house to really work on my kind of purpose with the Pisces and North Node. It's also productivity and day-to-day routines as well. So you could focus on how you might be changing up your day-to-day routines and how that impacts your life. Then Uranus will be direct in Taurus on the 30th of January. So Uranus will go direct in your Taurus 5th house of dating, creativity and children. So you can expect some unexpected shakeups for these kind of themes. And if you experience any kind of issues from May to September 2024, these may repeat now, or they're lessons that you had during those times and you can kind of use them again now. It's kind of like, this is the reason why I learned those lessons. February 2025, so Venus will be entering Aries in your 4th house on the 2nd of February. So Venus entering your 4th house of home and family will bring excitement and passion to these opportunities. It's a fun energy and it's good for working on getting noticed, for example. But Venus is debilitated in Aries, so it's not as harmonious as it could be with other signs. So it could be a little bit more like there is love and harmony here, but there's a hint of frustration in the background too. And with the home and family as well, it's a nice energy when it comes to, you know, relatives, building a family, expanding a family, moving location, or getting settled. I want to say settled and situated at the same time, situated in your home kind of life, the location you're in, for example. Then we have some beautiful energy when Jupiter is direct in Gemini in your 6th house on the 2nd of February, so on the same day. Some expansive opportunities can pick up again. This is active, this is not thinking about it, it's actually going for it, it's actually getting tangible luck with things. So you can have luck in a great physical routine, so if you're on an aesthetic journey, this is great. Or if you're trying to heal an injury or just work on your wellness routine and taking on a challenge, like running a marathon, for example, then this is great energy for that. It's good for reinventing your routines as well, or even getting on with co-workers more or getting new co-workers, because the 6th house is also co-workers. So this could be acquiring new clients, new co-workers, or kind of just having more of a kind of harmonious, lucky energy with them where you're like, oh, things are going really well with this. So then Mars will be direct in Cancer in your 7th house of committed and intimate relationships and business partnerships too. So you'll be evaluating your frustrations with this and maybe even revealing some trauma. Like I said, Mars is debilitated with Cancer, so it's highly sensitive. So there could be some frustrations with committed relationships, or lack thereof again. March 2025, Venus will be retrograding in Aries in that 4th house on the 1st of March. So this can bring out some existing issues in your relationships, and you can get annoyed by other people. And because this is Aries, it can be much more angry than normal. With the 4th house of home and family, focus on forgiving yourself and how you trust others, especially trauma from family. You may focus on stability in love, and Venus is debilitating Aries, so be more flexible emotionally. And Mercury will also be in Aries on the 3rd of March too, so we need a bit of ice water. Again, because I'm a Capricorn rising and I'm just bringing some context to help you kind of understand what this might be for you. I don't have the best kind of family unit. It's very disbanded. So for me, it's probably trying to figure out what I want from my love life and how that focuses on my home and family life. What can I build up in a community so I feel like I'm embraced by love and not that I'm repeating the same mistakes from my family life, for example. So then we have a Virgo lunar eclipse in your 9th house on the 14th of March. Very strong, disciplined energy of the Virgo here. This can be a time to finish many important projects and a good time to release any stagnant energy as well around studying something. You could even want to travel or even move locations during this because of that 9th house. So then we have retrograde central, and we have a lot of retrogrades this year, and actually one of the longest ones is about 4 months. So don't be alarmed if you think there's a lot of retrogrades. There is. So we have a Mercury retrograde in Aries in the 4th house on the 15th of March. So Mercury retro brings communication and technology issues, delays, things coming back from the past and the like. So Venus also retrograde in Aries. This can be a very challenging period with a lot of angst and aggression. So it's really good to focus on Zen calmness, especially in your home and family. So you don't want things to start to snap and then kind of explode, and then you're like, everybody's mad at me. So it's a really good time to kind of just center yourself. Then Venus will be retrograding in Pisces in your 3rd house on the 27th of March. So old energy and relationships, friendships and exes could return here. Could feel a little bit more tired with subconscious trauma emerging from the Pisces element. So focus on what love you really want and use the delusion of Pisces to manifest some attention. With that 3rd house, good time to manifest some communication from somebody you like, for example, or getting more kind of trust from somebody. Then Mercury retrograde enters Pisces in the 3rd house on the 29th of March. So alongside Venus and Pisces, we have a very highly spiritual, karmic and intuitive communication around love. And this might manifest issues globally. So be open to all the lessons this brings. Again, be careful about this because Mercury retrograde is all about communication issues, and then the 3rd house is communication. So this expanded can be a little bit challenging. So be careful about your words here. Then we have Neptune entering Aries in the 4th house on the 30th of March. Just as a side, outside of your sign, Neptune entering Aries is a little bit worrying for me. It's just not really the best thing. Neptune's highly spiritual and it's full of clarity, and Aries is very active and a little bit angsty. This may cause a little bit of difficulty. And Neptune also signals the spread of something as well. And with Aries, Saturn going into Aries as well, this is a little bit of an energy of war, but I don't think it's going to be a world war, but it's definitely some heightened geopolitical issues. So this is a bit of a strange kind of one. Again, avoid anger in your family and home life. Aries solar eclipse on the 29th of March, again in that 4th house, so you start to see a repeat here. We have a lot of energy in that home and family house. So the Aries solar eclipse will trigger energy which you need to take action with, so issues arising now or any passions and challenges. You may wish to release some powerful energy, and for some of you that may be grief around home and family. You might also want to reframe something rather than fully let it go because of that solar eclipse and because of the retrogrades. So it could be that you want to reframe something about your home and family life. So you could be feeling very linked to starting a new project at home, like a DIY project, for example, or feel more inspired to start or expand your family or kind of work on issues existing in that family. April 2025. So Mercury will be direct in Pisces in the 3rd house on the 7th of April. So communication's easier now. This is good energy and you can communicate your feelings and thoughts with ease, especially with that 3rd house of communication. So it's great for building up your connections, especially with your family, but a good time to manifest a presence on social media or in the world. Great time to just communicate. If you're doing a presentation or a speech around this time, perfect timing. Then Venus will be direct in Pisces in the 3rd house on the 12th of April, so you may experience some better manifestations with love. Great energy again for manifesting contact from somebody, like a text or more communication. Feel more open to dreaming and being hopeful around love because Pisces is very delusional. This is generally a great time to manifest communication, I feel. Or use affirmations, that spoken word, to manifest. You'll also feel a little bit less burdened by having to keep up appearances and kind of spread your wings a bit more. You just generally feel a lot lighter during this transit. Then we have the return. So Mars is back in Leo in that 8th house on the 18th of April. So think back to any issues in November, December from 2024. So basically around this time that you're watching the video, and what were they? How did you deal with them? You can tie up these loose ends and feel more energy with your investment opportunities, but also be careful around frustration and heightened emotions here. Then Venus will be back in Aries in the 4th house on the 30th of April, so you can bring any unfinished business from March back and deal with it head on. You could be a bit more enthusiastic with love and energetic, but you could also be much more impulsive because, again, Venus is debilitating Aries, so this is one to balance. May 2025, Pluto will be retrograding in Aquarius in your 2nd house of income and finances on the 4th of May. So when Pluto entered Aquarius in November, you may have experienced some intense transformations around finances and taking charge of your financial future, even earning more money. But now these slow down and you think more on these internally. So you don't necessarily see outward transformation and things happening tangibly for you. You're like, oh yeah, this money is coming and going. It's like you're thinking more about it, evaluating a financial plan, for example. Then Saturn enters Aries in your 4th house on the 24th of May. As I mentioned, this is a bit of a scary transit for me. Saturn is the planet of restrictions and harsh lessons, and Aries is about war. So this is a little bit of a taunting energy for world leaders, I think. With the current geopolitical climate, it's a bit dicey. But generally for you, Capricorn, in your 4th house, this can show boundaries and growth with home and family. Again, setting your boundaries around family, especially relatives, children, partner, that kind of thing. And saying, this is what I want from myself. I need to set a boundary. And through that, there's really great growth, especially because Aries is very forward moving. But remember, Saturn is the rope around you. So you might need to focus on the freedom that you get from your home and family life. Don't get yourself into a situation where you feel extremely trapped. June 2025 is a lovely month. So Jupiter enters Cancer in your 7th house on the 9th of June. I'm very excited about this as a Capricorn rising. Beautiful energy. So Mercury enters Cancer the day before. So great communication and expansiveness for committed relationships and deepening a bond with somebody. Again, use that Jupiter influence to use affirmations for love. You could meet new foreign contacts throughout this as well, because Jupiter and committed relationship could be a foreign partner. And as I mentioned, in August, there is a Jupiter-Venus conjunction, which will be amazing for you because it really gives a soulmate connection with this committed relationship. So beautiful energy. If you're in a relationship now and you're not committed in engagement or marriage, this could be really lucky for you. Then Mars enters Virgo in the 9th house on the 17th of June, which is fabulous energy for productivity, especially with Virgo. It's a great time to use any frustrations into being productive, especially with that 9th house. So with study. You could avoid issues with studies or getting angry over delays with travel, for example. July 2025, so Neptune will be retrograding in Aries in the 4th house on the 4th of July. So Neptune retrograde brings kind of a foggy energy, and in Aries this can be like fighting against the wind. So try to stay tapped into intuition, and in the 4th house, focus on the path you're on with your home and try not to get flummoxed by family matters. So Uranus enters Gemini in the 6th house on the 7th of July as well. And Uranus is settled in Gemini because it's a communication house, so it's like a higher octave of Mercury. So this will bring out-of-the-box ideas. It's very innovative with your physical health, and also really great when it comes to co-workers, like having a new kind of idea with co-workers. So open your mind to new ways of thinking and new stories around who you are too. we have retrogrades again. So we have a Saturn retrograde in Aries in the 4th house on the 13th of July. This restricts our options even more. It can make you feel very trapped with a toxic home life or not happy with your location. So we can use the Aries energy to tap into creativity and remind ourselves that there are several options out there. So we might think there's only 1 or 2 options, but there's actually quite a few. Then we have a Mercury retrograde in Leo in the 8th house on the 18th of July. It's a great time for second chances with somebody you've fallen out of contact with, and exes can come back during this time. But be careful with delays in finances or not communicating appropriately with a loved one, i.e. are you able to trust the person that you're talking to on that level, in that deep kind of 8th house Scorpio level. August 2025, Mars will be entering Libra in your 10th house of career on the 6th of August. So Mars and Libra are complete opposites, men are from Mars, women are from Venus kind of energy. So this is about understanding others to the fullest. It's a great energy and drive for career, using the passion of Mars to enhance this, but be careful of arguments here. Then Mercury will be direct in Leo in the 8th house on the 11th of August. Mercury direct can help you channel your motivation. It's just a great energy for getting back on track with things. So use this alongside Mars and Libra to manifest better trust in your relationships and also more financial opportunities in your life too. Venus will enter Leo in the 8th house again on the 25th of August too, which will enhance harmony around those topics. So kind of use Mars and Libra energy with the Mercury direct and kind of enhance the 8th house of finances with the 10th house of career. September 2025, Saturn will enter Pisces in the 3rd house on the 1st of September. So Saturn will now stay in Pisces for the rest of the year. So if you're a Saturn and Pisces kid like myself, then you can revisit any lessons from the last 2 to 3 years. I am not happy about Saturn going back into Pisces, but I'm also happy for it not to be in Aries. So one of those things. So Capricorn, focus on the constrictions that affect you and the way that you express yourself through words with that communication house and what's stopping you from your goals and your productivity. Again, Saturn is about that boundary and constriction and the lessons that are being learned from that. Then we have a Uranus retrograde in Gemini in your 6th house on the 6th of September. So this can slow down any of those new innovations and ideas that you had in the gym or with co-workers. So you may have a bit of a shock or a change you don't want. You might receive some news that shocks you. Not necessarily bad news, but could be a bit like, oh God, I wasn't expecting that. Or you could even feel in a rut. Then we have some interesting eclipses as well. So we have a Pisces lunar eclipse in the 3rd house on the 7th of September, which is end and release and a great time to let go with capital letters of issues surrounding productivity or day-to-day errands. This could feel really cathartic for you. You could have a real sort of freeing moment in your heart and your soul. Then I have a Virgo solar eclipse in the 9th house on the 21st of September, which is great for starting a new project and focusing on new plans and goals with study and travel, maybe going to a new place, or just basically making plans to really expand yourself. Could even be learning a new language, for example. October 2025, so Pluto will be direct in Aquarius in the 2nd house on the 13th of October. So Capricorn, you can now focus on those major transformations with your income and the lessons that you're learning from that, and you can finally move forward. So this is good energy for seeing tangible results again now. Then Neptune will be in Pisces in the 3rd house on the 22nd of October. So Neptune returns to Pisces. So you revisit any issues with communication and focus on clarity. It's a great time for meditation, for affirmations, and also for tapping into a spiritual side even more. Neptune and Pisces are both beautiful for spirituality. They really go hand in hand. And this is good energy when you're trying to, for example, manifest good communication from somebody or see clearly the path that you're on with your goals and your productivity. And if you're a storyteller, you could really get, that kind of J.K. Rowling, I'm in the shower and I got the idea for Prisoner of Azkaban or whatever it was. I'm thinking, oh, okay, influence. So November 2025, Uranus enters Taurus in your 5th house on the 7th of November. So again, innovation and shake-up with dating, creative expression, and even children here. So any changes to your security with how you experience joy, which have been in effect recently, can be worked on. This is a nice energy when it comes to just doing things a little bit differently in either your dating life or doing things more different in creativity and hobbies. Then Mercury will be retrograding Sagittarius in your 12th house on the 9th of November. So you may feel like you can't communicate, open up to somebody, or you want to run for the hills. Exes revisiting could make you feel trapped. So I wouldn't make any changes to your appearance that are drastic. And I also would be a little bit careful about communicating your mental health issues to somebody that you really trust. You don't want to end up saying something to somebody and they just kind of fob you off a little bit and you're like, wow, I shouldn't have opened up. So just be careful on that too. Then we have retrogrades version 400. So Jupiter retrograde in Cancer 7th house on the 11th of November. So we had that beautiful energy of Jupiter giving us luck. But now this retrograde will have us evaluating those projects, dreams, and kind of luck from the year, specifically around committed relationships. But we'll also be able to look at our dreams and what we feel destined for. So this is not necessarily bad energy. It's just more of an evaluation than anything that's tangibly lucky to us. But again, we can manifest luck all the time. So there's never really a time limit on that. Then we have a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio in your 11th house on the 18th of November. This is very passionate and exes could return with full force here. You could have issues around communicating with friends. So again, that Mercury retrograde. Or you could have delays where one person turns up and it's like, you're an hour late. And it's like, oh, am I? So again, could be some issues there. So first direct, we have a couple of directs rather than retrograde. So we have Saturn direct in Pisces in the 3rd house on the 27th of November. So this can give us a tiny bit more freedom and some more clarity, and you can feel a little bit less trapped with your day-to-day routines. This is quite a nice energy. You're tangibly also setting boundaries too. So you're not just thinking about it, you're actually saying, nope, I'm doing it now. Then Mercury will be direct in Scorpio in your 11th house on the 29th of November. So the last Mercury retrograde of the year, so we now go direct. So we can move forward, and for you, Capricorn, you can make really good decisions with your friendships or have some good projects that you're working on. December 2025, Mars will be retrograding in Leo in your 8th house on the 6th of December. So Mars retrograding in Leo again, and this will bring irritation and anger with investing or intimate relationships. So try to focus on communicating your needs in a calm way. Neptune will be direct in Pisces in that 3rd house as well. So there is a little bit element of like trying to get clarity through the frustration. So Neptune direct will bring clarity, but there is that element of Mars in Leo, which will be like kind of just clouding it a little bit. And in that 3rd house as well, with your goals and how you're putting your stamp on the world, it can become a little bit more clearer now. But again, there's frustration with how that is fitting in with your finances, for example. So Capricorn, that was your 2025 horoscope, which is just the headlines and the highlights. Again, I do weekly and monthly horoscopes, which go into these things a little bit more in depth. And again, as a Capricorn rising and Venus, I really love this energy too. So just to kind of recap on the highlights, we have a focus on transformations with your physical routine, your day-to-day productivity and communication. You also have a great chance for commitment in love, marriage, engagement, or finding your soulmate with a beautiful Venus and Jupiter conjunction. And then you have a focus on home and family life quite drastically, actually. There's a lot of energy in that 4th house there. And also some energy in the 8th house of investing in money and also intimate relationships too. So generally, Capricorn, if you are somebody that's trying to seek out more love in your life, this is really lucky for you. If you're trying to focus on establishing really good routines so that you're able to actually advance in your life, I really find this very accurate for myself, really, because not only for the love, but also trying to really set up routines, really focusing on my fitness this year, and also really trying to heal issues with the home and family life. And also, you know, I'm trying to move somewhere else as well. So this is very accurate for me. Let me know if it's accurate for you as a Capricorn rising or even a sun and moon. And I really hope you have a lovely 2025, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye.